How's it going, guys? Higgs here, and in this video we'll be going over what is the best gear for Yasuke in Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, like most games, not all the best gear needs to be legendary, and there are some really cool epic pieces of loot in this game, so this will be a slightly mixed bag. Granted, most of the weapons we're going to be going over are legendary, but I just wanted to say there are some really good epic pieces of gear you can get early on in this game, so it's definitely worth keeping an eye out for those. But before we get started, if you find yourself enjoying the video at any point, hit the like button because it helps the channel and the video out massively, and if you're into all things Assassin's Creed and other games, hit that subscribe button as well for more content in the future. First up, we've got the long katana, Bloody Business, and this is one of my favourites and a weapon I used a lot. It is great to use in a poison build due to its perk, plus 50% damage from poison on afflicted enemies. A side note with unique gear is the perks that drop with the weapon are bonus perks which you can use for engraving later on. And even if you don't like the weapon, unlocking that engraving is totally worth it because with the right build, which I've already made a video on for now and is on the screen now, it does some serious damage. This is a reward as part of the Iron Hand quest at Iron Guild. I highly recommend you get it just for that perk alone, guys. It is absolutely insane. And sticking with the katanas, we have the Lethal Lotus Petal. Now this is a seriously good legendary and another strong weapon for poison. It has 18% poison build-up and also comes with a top tier perk, plus 50% chance to kill enemies below 2 health segments with poison. And when you start fighting the tougher enemies, this perk can come in clutch. Pair that with a number of engravings and you have a katana that will be on your list to use in any build. You get the Lethal Lotus by opening the chest in the Mayanawe Fort in Harima. Crimson's Edge is another legendary long katana which is great to use in a bleed build or even on its own, with a healthy bleed build up of 18%. With good ability damage as well, this katana is a must. There are also a lot of good engravings you could have with this weapon to buff it that little bit more. I've gone for plus 25% damage from bleed on afflicted enemies, which makes this weapon so good. Crimson Edge is obtained by completing the quest step Nobutsuna Students and defeating Sanada Masatoyo. Honestly guys, it's definitely worth getting this. I did struggle with the Students quest step for some reason, I just couldn't get my timings right, but I'm sure you'll do better than me. But it's definitely worth getting because bleed is quite strong in Shadows, and later on in the game, when the enemies get a little bit tougher, the Crimson's Edge can do some really good damage if lent into decent mastery perks, so it's definitely one worth getting guys, so make sure that's on your list now. The legendary Kanabo Daybreaker's Fury is probably one of my favourite weapons to use in the game, and this is due to 1, it looks absolutely brutal, and 2, its perk, Breaking Armour spreads shrapnel dealing 80% damage, which is a real fun perk when it procs, and with most enemies having armour, that should be a lot. It has plus 23.4% vulnerable damage as well, making this a must-have for any Yasuke damage build, and Daybreakers is a reward from defeating Besho Harumasa in the Ox quest step. The Kanabo weapon type is such a fitting one for Yasuke to wield as well because it's just a big, bulky weapon where you're going to get loads of damage. And Daybreaker's Fury is definitely going to be one of those weapons you're going to need to be getting yourself as soon as possible. Shade of Blight is a legendary Naginata that can be utilised in a poison build because it has a solid plus 18% poison build-up and a plus 100% of an adrenaline chunk on affliction trigger, which makes this great for getting those abilities firing. I've only just started using this weapon type and I'm having fun with it so far. It's definitely a more relaxed way of playing because you're not going to be up close and personal fighting against the bad guys, but it will help keep enemies back a little bit further. You can get the Shade of Blight by taking down the messenger in the Kurai EQ questline. Teppos are strong in Shadows and even stronger when you mix them into the right build, and Wave of Wasps is a shining example of that. With solid stats in weapon and headshot DPS, it also fares well due to the perk, plus 14% damage on hitting afflicted enemies. Pair this with a number of weapons we've gone over in this video and you'll be taking them tough guys down with ease. I haven't used Teppos that much in Shadows, and that's because I just like the fast, up close and personal gameplay. But by unlocking some more Teppos, you can get some better engravings which will give you a better reload speed, which does help. You'll get Wave of Wasps when defeating a Teppo expert from Genzaburou Soldier's questline. If you are into Teppos, Wave of Wasps is definitely a go-to, especially with the damage on hitting afflicted enemies. I haven't forgot you bow lovers out there, so this one is for you. Blush of the Earth is a really solid choice. any weapon that offers the ability to slow down time is worth having if you ask me. The bow has 5,544 headshot DPS, which is nice, and also has the perk Extend Clear Mine duration by 5 seconds, which is a lot of time, and when you add that on top of the Clear Mines Mastery perk tree, this makes for a great bow. Clear Mines without upgrades offers a 10-second window, Blush takes that up to 15 seconds, and you're not even adding effective mindset and level-headed into it yet. If you do and you fully upgrade all of that, this bow will be extremely good when you're going to be in them instances where slowing down time may come in handy if you're surrounded by a lot of enemies and you need to take a step back. You can get Blush of the Earth from the Makino Kurumizuku Kofun in Izumi Setsu. I have actually put a video up of this Kofun because some people were finding it quite difficult and getting lost. I will link that down in the description below. The Tactician Steel is an epic long katana which offers some good stats with adrenaline gain at plus 31% and a healthy amount of ability gain which ties nicely together with adrenaline gain. The perk it comes with is plus 60% armor damage with critical hits, so definitely lean into a crit build with this one, and also put points into the melee weapon armor damage mastery for a nice buff when dealing with tankier enemies as well. Tactician Steel is a reward from the Genzubaru Soldiers questline, and it's just a really solid weapon. I also like the look of it as well, and there are some perks in the game where you get extra damage for not having legendary gear equipped, and this is why I say that epic gear is really useful. It depends what you kind of want to build into, but I really do like Tactician Steel, and I definitely think it's worth getting. Next we have the Turquoise Sapphire, and this is a legendary long katana which is great for crowd control with its perk Successful Parries push nearby enemies back. We've all been there in Shadows when we are overrun and we keep getting hit and it's so annoying. Well, this katana will help you out if you are good at timing and parrying. That is the only negative about this. You actually need to be good at timing and parrying, so if you're not, well, get better, I suppose. It comes with a nice amount of adrenaline gain, which is plus 23.8%, and with all that parrying, you'll be getting abilities firing off a hell of a lot. You'll be glad to know that this is a really simple one to get. Head over to Yamashiro and just west of Shiryuji Castle, and it's under the bridge where the Kuji-Kiri is. And last on the list is the Ball to Fall, which is another solid choice for the Kanabo. I love how it looks, which always helps, but it's also the perk that's attached to this weapon, and that is attacks cannot be interrupted, and trust me, that is a godsend. Yasuke isn't as quick as Naoe, and the Kanabo isn't the quickest of weapons to use, so this perk eliminates that frustration of getting stopped mid-swing. And once you have your enemies vulnerable, it will dish out a solid 23% extra damage, meaning this is a great choice, and that only adds to the potential of this weapon. And having the abilities Crushing Shockwave, Spinebreaker and Slugging Rampage add to the fun of using a Kanabo. This can be obtained by defeating the Katsuragi agent from the Kurai EQ quest step, and with Kanabos being quite a popular choice to use with Yasuke, it's definitely one that you should have on your list. But if we're being honest here, guys, most Kanabos are going to be fun to use anyway, just because of what they are. It's just that weapon type. Yes, you're going to have your different perks, which you can use for engravings, which is what I think a lot of people are probably hunting certain weapons down for, to take that engraving and using it elsewhere. But the Kanabo is such a big, bulky weapon, you're going to be doing massive amounts of damage either way. It just depends whether you want to use a certain one because of how it looks, because a lot of them are quite unique looking, or with the initial perk that it drops with. But that is the end of this list. There are going to be more videos with more weapons as I go through them all. As you can probably understand, going to get certain weapons and just using them for a bit to see if I like them does take time. But do not fear, this isn't the definitive be-all and end-all list of weapons that you should use with Yasuke. This is just my first list after getting to play with some of these weapons a little bit more. But please do let me know down in the comments whether you agree with my choices, disagree, whether you'd like to see some other weapons put in a video. I am all ears. Obviously, I'm going to be doing some more Naoe videos as well, but I've just returned from a family vacation, or a mini break as we call it in England, and that is much needed sometimes to avoid burnout. But as always, I'm rambling on now. So if you did like the video, hit the like button, and if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe as well for more Assassin's Creed content in the future. But as always, guys, take care, and I'll see you on the next video.